Hello and welcome to the Situationship Expert YouTube channel. I'm your host, India Lynn, also known as the Situationship Expert, first on TikTok, now on YouTube. If it's your first time here, thank you for joining me. If it is not your first time here, I'm glad that you came back. Glad that you're here. Today's topic is on something that I had actually discussed on my TikTok live today, and don't go based on my perspective, go based on how you feel. And it's a topic where my biases should not conduct the way you feel about this topic. All right, we're going to talk about dating and age ranges in dating, and I'm so glad that somebody in my life brought this up because it's important to talk about. I'll say this: I am a product of an age gap in terms of me having a set of ancestors that did have a larger age gap. I wouldn't say my parents really had that large of an age gap, but ancestors beyond my parents came together, and if it wasn't for them coming together and the love that they formed together, I would not be here. I wouldn't exist, right? So that being said, how do I feel about age gaps? I personally feel that if you are over the age of 18, there is consent, there is respect. You can technically date anybody you feel like dating over the age of 18. Now, during my live, I said this, and I want to make it very clear. I want to be very transparent about this. If I had an 18-year-old son and he tells me that he's interested in a 40-year-old woman, me personally, it's not happening. Again, that's my personal bias. I try and keep my personal bias out of the advice that I give, but for me, no. My 18-year-old boy, I don't like the idea of him dating a 40-year-old woman. She could be the most beautiful, most loving, most kind 40-year-old woman on the planet, but I don't like the idea of my son dating this woman at the age of 18. I'm just not comfortable with it. Now, once my son has grown adult money, I said he can move out. He could date whoever he wants. But as long as he's under my roof, I am not comfortable with an 18-year-old child of mine dating somebody who's 40 years older. And it's the same if I had a daughter and she was 18 talking to a 40-year-old man. Yeah, no, if you're still under my roof, you live under and honor my rules when it comes to that. And someone might say, well, that's not fair. That's not fair to the child, or the child who is now an adult, right? They are over 18, they're an adult. You should just let them date who they want to date. Again, this is what I'm saying from my own biased perspective, how I feel about it. Now, you, the viewer, you, the listener, you can feel inspired by what I say in terms of my personal convictions, but I try and leave that outside of the advice that I'm giving you, okay? While I would not advise a parent to allow their 18-year-old to date somebody who's a 40-year-old person without, feeling comfortable themselves. If you are a parent who has an 18-year-old child that's dating a 40-year-old person, I'm not sitting here condemning you. My convictions are not necessarily your convictions. Technically, by law, if somebody is over the age of 18, there is consent and there is, in my opinion, respect. Okay? You can date whoever you want. If you are a older person who wants to date a younger person, if you're a younger person that wants to date an older person, it's not about what my perspective is. It's not about what somebody else's perspective is or someone else's convictions. Again, if you are over the age of 18 and there is consent and respect, it's none of my business. All right, so I just want to set the record straight. This is probably one of my shortest videos on here, but I just wanted to clear the air, throw that out there. Yes, I said it on my live. Yes, I wanted to make sure that it was expanded on here because it is something that affects people. The age gap affects people, but I did want to just say that here very, very quickly. But thank you for joining me on this episode of the Situationship Expert YouTube channel. If you want to join my lives, definitely check my stories. That's where I usually give updates on when I'm going live. I right now go live a couple of times during the week. Again, during the recording of this video, that is what my schedule looks like. I don't know what it's going to look like when you're watching this video, but definitely check out my TikTok account because, again, as of right now, I am going live and I do talk about these things. You can ask me questions freely. I'm not afraid of anything on the spot. So definitely join me on there, and the details on how to follow my TikTok account in terms of my TikTok handle will be provided at the end of this video. Again, thank you for joining me on this episode of the Situationship Expert YouTube channel. Until the next video, take care.